the entire year. How many of you will be chased out of your own backyard as it starts to get a little darker outside tonight because mosquitoes pop up and those flying insects that make you crazy? This is called DynaTrap. It's completely different than any other piece of equipment that we sell on the air. 230,000 QVC customers, I'm one of them by the way, have purchased this, and what it does in your yard is amazing. It can ratify mosquitoes completely from your yard. I get introduced you to Mike. Mike, how are you, my friend?
Great, Dan, how are you?
Very good. You're part of the DynaTrap team. We actually met that team at the National Hardware Show. It was back in May of last year. And we brought it in on a limited basis. Our audience responded. It's just simply a device. It's not a candle that you light. It's not a bug zapper. It works on the principle that works directly against what is a mosquito's way of trying to feed in the first place.
Exactly, and DynaTrap is the leader in insect and mosquito trapping, and it's due to the technology inside that has actually been independently third-party tested to capture mosquitoes, moths, flies, hornets,
stink
wasps,
bugs,
and even stink bugs. Right, and like you said, what makes DynaTrap so unique is because these bugs, especially mosquitoes, are attracted to three things. Right?
And that's what Mother Nature kind of hardwired into them to get a meal.
Exactly, right? So they're usually attracted to light, warmth, and most important, carbon dioxide. That's what you and I emit when we breathe and when we speak, right?
And our pets do the same thing.
Exactly, right? And what the DynaTrap does is it actually emits carbon dioxide. It actually provides the light because of a UV light built inside, and it provides warmth. So this DynaTrap is literally mimicking us as human beings, and that's why it's an incredible mosquito magnet.
So here's what's going to happen. You're going to plug this in. The UV bulb is going to give you day and night light and heat, and then that CO2 that becomes the dinner bell to the all-you-can-eat buffet to a mosquito. And keep in mind, when mosquitoes feed, to do it, they have to pierce your skin. They're flying hypodermic needles. Look what happens. There is then a powerful fan that once it draws the mosquitoes in, they can't get out, and they expire and dehydrate.
Exactly.
But they're gone. And we're not talking about just getting rid of a few. You know, tonight at around 6:30, 7 o'clock, when the barbecue is really starting to get fun, then you start doing this stuff. You start smacking the back of your head, or you spray chemicals on your children. If you set this up, and you set it up about 20 feet away from where you're going to be, if this is our picnic table, I'm gonna put this back over there, like what we have in our back patio, because the mosquitoes then will all go towards it instead of come to me.
Exactly.
But we were talking about eradicating mosquitoes. How does that happen?
So the idea with this is that you want to break the life cycle of a mosquito, right? A mosquito can live from 4 days to 28 days. Right. Really, the only ones we're concerned about are the female mosquitoes, because
males don't bite.
They don't. The females bite, and they use our blood to help reproduce.
We are not making a political statement. That's actually the way it works. It's only the female mosquito that ever feeds.
Right, and they feed the blood for the protein to help reproduce. And that one female mosquito can produce up to 200 eggs every time, and she can do that up to 3 times. So the more mosquitoes we trap in here, we break the life cycle. So the longer you leave it out, you keep it plugged in, and you
keep
leave
it running
all the time, right? Because this is going to help capture those mosquitoes day and night, like you said. So the second we capture mosquitoes in here, they can't reproduce.
Beautiful.
And that's how it gets them out of our yards.
Let me show them what we have available. Now, these units, and the gentleman who owns the company, good man, he is producing these as we speak to make sure that we've got another order that will go out on July 26th, right? This is the half-acre size. We've got it in bronze, or we have it in black. And that will cover you, again, for a full half acre. Our price, by the way, is amazing. We're at 94 bucks. He sells DynaTrap on their own website at $135.87, but we're including additional bulbs that for the average individual, let's say you lived in Florida where you're gonna plug this thing in and you've got bugs all year round. This would be a full 1 year supply running 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days out of the year. Up here in the Northeast, I only need it for about 3 months or 4 months. So I've got a 3-year supply of bulbs. Here is the 1 acre size. If you've got a larger property, you want to protect yourself in a larger area, then hang this off of a shepherd's hook. I've got one on our horse barn. I'm the only farmer than I know of last year that didn't have horseflies in his barnyard. And they bite, they hurt. And this thing did its job. You'll be amazed at what comes out of it. We'll actually show you that. So here's the copper, and here is the black. If you need the acre size in this black, that is our most limited. We have fewer than 800 that the manufacturer can commit to building for us, and they will be shipped soon. Look at this. Those are mosquitoes. Those are the bad insects. And we have people who will always say, but there's good insects out there.
This actually is smart technology. So this is only going to attract those bugs that are attracted to carbon dioxide. The
ones
bad,
that
nasty
feed
bugs,
off
right?
of us.
Exactly. But honeybees and butterflies are not going to be attracted to this because they're pollinators. They're not attracted to this. They're attracted to flowers. So we get that question all the time. So that's another great thing about DynaTrap.
So they don't even see it. Now, here's the reason again why it works. And this is kind of interesting. This is, Dr. Mosquito stuff. A mosquito will only fly a distance of roughly a football field away from the place in which they were born. That's it. So if you have this unit within that area, notice again, they put it about 20 feet away from their main living space outdoors, leave it run all the time. If you kill all the mosquitoes in that area, you've wiped out the life cycle and you won't have any other mosquitoes all summer long. And then you'll have it again next year, and the year after that, the year after that. So you're protecting your family and your pets from not just the nuisance and the annoyance of flying bugs, and I call them hypodermic needles, but you're making your family safer with the worries that we have nowadays about what mosquitoes can do. It is the coolest scientific principle to do it without spraying yourself with chemicals or nasty smelling citronella candles. You plug it in, you leave it on, it does its job.
It does. And the great thing about it is it doesn't really use a whole lot of power too when you run these all day long. So if you were to run this all day, 24 hours a day, every single day, the 1 acre only costs 10 cents a day.
Okay.
That's it. Right? And if you're running the half acre every day, all day, it's 3 cents a day.
3 cents a day.
So it's a very minimal cost to run these to help protect your family. And that's what's really important with me. I have a wife, I have 2 young boys at home, we have a swing set, we love going outside and playing. But how many times are we getting chased in? Or you go out for dinner with your family, you get chased in. Don't get chased in anymore.
You gain your backyard back.
Right. We spend so much money. Look at the outdoor set out here, right? You spend all this money on those outdoor spaces and then you can't enjoy them, right?
Because you're getting eaten alive.
You're getting eaten alive. You're getting taken back in.
And the more we read newspapers and the headlines, et cetera, I mean, mosquitoes are nasty. So why not win the battle?
Exactly.
The half acre is the more popular. If you are in a position where you're trying to control population of mosquitoes in a front yard and a backyard, and you've got a house separating, this will not work through the house. So you may want to pick up more than one. What Mike just did, and we're using dry ice so that you can actually see airflow. That powerful suction created by the fan is what draws the mosquitoes and the pesky bugs in. They fall to the bottom where they dehydrate and die. And I actually empty mine out about once a week.
Yeah.
And you'll notice as the season progresses that there'll be less and less bugs in the hopper.
Exactly.
Now that doesn't mean that the equipment has become less effective. It just means you're wiping the bugs out.
Right. And the important thing again is because we give you an extended warrant, a 60-day
return policy. Yep.
Right, and it's really important because we want you to try and capture as many mosquitoes as you can. So when you get this, put it outside and let it run. You'll see some in there after the first week. You'll see more after the second week, even more after the third week. And that's when you're really getting the chance to break the life cycle of mosquito. It's actually really rewarding to go in there and see what's in your bin because that's not what's chasing you in. That's not what's biting you. That's not what, you're worried about your pets, your dogs, your loved ones. That's the great thing about the DynaTrap.
Hey, I pay a mortgage. The mosquitoes have never paid rent, okay?
Right.
They don't get to boss us around. We're gonna go off to our phone lines and say hello to Denise. Denise is calling from Indiana. Denise, what part of Indiana?
Cicero.
Cicero. Indiana, by the way, is the greatest state of the union. I don't know that.
I did hear that
You
before.
did that, yeah.
I think you told me.
Yeah, that's because I'm from Indiana. Denise, do you already have one of these or are you picking one up?
I picked up 2.
Okay.
I picked up one for the barn after you mentioned it, and then I have childcare.
Okay.
So I thought one for the animals, one for the children, and the mosquitoes here are big enough to get a job.
That's good. I call them pterodactyls. And when you grow
Correct.
up in the Midwest, the bugs that we had in the Midwest were nasty. And there was nothing
they
like
are.
this. You would spray yourself with a chemical, which that wasn't fun. The stuff smelled, and it wasn't all that effective. It's as if the mosquitoes were never there. And that will be exactly the case in a few weeks at your property.
Mm-hmm.
My donkeys will appreciate that. The goats will appreciate that. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Denise, I was so blown away at my own barn last year. We've got horses, and we have, where we actually live, we have sheep, and then we also have some mini donkeys. I had horse flies that would draw blood.
Sure.
And within 3 weeks, I had completely forgotten that horse flies even existed, which to me
Well,
was
I can't
amazing.
wait then. Cannot wait.
Oh,
I
yeah.
have mini donkeys. I have 4.
Oh, that's
and,
beautiful.
I actually was going to put knee socks on their legs with wrap just to keep the flies away.
Yep. Well, any hunting predator that flies that uses carbon dioxide as the dinner bell are attracted to this machine. And in particular, it's mosquitoes and your stink bugs and your wasps, etc. But I've had some great luck with horse flies on this. So they're on their way.
I can't wait. Can't wait to get them.
The manufacturer, again, is building them right now. They're shipping on the 26th of July. But you know how it is in Indiana. You're going to be using this thing all the way through the end of September, probably October, and then it'll be ready to go again next spring when the bugs start popping up again.
I'll just put it out real early next spring.
Yes. Yep. Do it. Denise, thank you. Always great to talk to a fellow Hoosier.
Oh, I'm sure. Have
Take
a good
care.
day
Thanks,
and a happy
Denise.
4th.
Bye-bye. Happy 4th of July. Let me give you some updates. We were the most limited in that full 1 acre size in the black in terms of what could be manufactured. A production run is only so big. We can't make it any bigger. There's about 600 of those that are remaining. We've had over 1,000 of these that have been ordered today. If you're just tuning in, let's again introduce you to the technology of DynaTrap. It is patented, it is different, there's nothing else like it in the world. The competition either uses a propane tank that has to be replaced on an ongoing, consistent basis, and it gets very expensive. This you just plug in, hang it up outside, and just leave it on and let it go. It can eradicate the pest that we don't like.
Yeah, the DynaTrap has been independently third-party tested to capture mosquitoes, flies, wasps, moths, hornets, and even stink bugs. Because like you said, Dan, the technology is very different. All of those nasty bugs are really attracted to one main thing, and that's carbon dioxide.
It's what we breathe out.
What we breathe out and talk every time. The other great thing about the DynaTrap is it's also going to provide UV light. So that UV light, leaving it on all day, is going to help attract these bugs day and night. That coated surface underside is what produces the carbon dioxide. That's what's going to attract them and get them to the DynaTrap. And then our powerful fan inside is actually going to draw them down into our retention cage where they expire. And you can see right here, this is real footage, slow motion video, showing bugs coming to it because they love that CO2, they love the light and the warmth, and then that powerful fan just sucks them down in.
And they cannot get out, they dehydrate and they're gone. Now you can fully eradicate the entire life cycle of mosquitoes on your property by setting this thing up about 20 feet away from you would normally gather. You don't want to set it right on the picnic table because you're going to draw the mosquitoes to it. So what we did on the back is we put ours out by the fire pit and we just let it run. We let it run 24 hours a day. A mosquito's life, the life cycle is usually about 2 weeks. But in that 2-week period, a female can lay up to 200 eggs on 3 separate occasions. Mosquitoes they're flying hypodermic needles, and they were created just to create more of them, okay? They're flying havoc. They usually will only fly on any given period of time about the length of a football field from where they're born, and they return to that place where they were born every night. So if you can clean all the mosquitoes out and eradicate that laying of eggs and new birth, you can get rid of all the mosquitoes in your yard. The only exception is, literally, is if wind blows another mosquito from a different property in.
Right. And we hear from people all the time, like we got a caller in last week.
The next door neighbor?
The next door neighbor, right?
Yeah.
She's like, I saw this thing hanging in his backyard, and I had wondered what it was. And the next thing you know, he moved, he took his DynaTrap with him, and next